Okay, today I'm going to be talking to you about gas pressure. We're going to find out what gas pressure is and 3 different things which can affect gas pressure. So first of all, I'm going to draw you a diagram. So this is a closed container, and within it there are I'm going to draw 4 gas particles. So remember, in a gas, the particles are spread out and they move randomly in every direction. Now, obviously, if this was reality, there'd be millions and millions of these particles. So as the particles move, they collide with the walls of the container. And as they collide with the walls of the container, they exert a force. Now, this overall force is referred to as pressure. So every single collision of all of these kind of act together, and that overall force exerted on this area here, on the kind of surface area of the container, is called pressure. So the first one we need to know about, we're going to learn 3 different things that affect pressure. The first one we're going to look at is the number of particles. So let's have a look at 2 different situations. Here I've got 2 different containers, but they have the exact same volume. Now in the top container, let's say I haven't got many gas particles, whereas in the bottom one, I've got many more. So what we're going to have a quick think about is which one of these is going to have a higher pressure. Now, if there's not many particles, there will be fewer collisions with the outside, with the walls of the container. If we've got more particles, there will be more frequent collisions. So the more collisions that there are, the higher the pressure will be. So this top one will have a low pressure, whereas this bottom one will have a high pressure. So if we have more particles within the same volume, we'll have more collisions, or more frequent collisions, therefore a higher pressure. The second one we need to know about is volume. So again, let's have a look at 2 different examples. So the top one, we've got quite a large volume compared to the bottom one. So let's make sure we've got the same number of particles in both different situations to keep it fair. Now, which one is going to have a higher pressure this time? So we're thinking about the frequency of collisions. Because there's a smaller volume here, there's going to be more collisions or more frequent collisions than this one here. So therefore, there's going to be more force exerted on the walls of this container. So therefore, this one has a lower pressure and this one has a higher pressure. So as long as you keep the number of particles the same, as you decrease the volume, you will increase the number or the frequency of collisions. Therefore, you will increase the pressure. The final one we need to know about is temperature. So we're going to look at 2 different situations. This top one here and this bottom one here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the number of particles the same. So we'll just show 4 in each one. We've got the same volume each time. What we've changed this time is the temperature. So let's say this top one is 5 degrees C, whereas this bottom one is 200 degrees C. Now, when these particles are cold, they don't have much kinetic energy. So kinetic energy just means movement energy. So let's think about the force that they're exerting on the walls of the container. Because they're not moving with much kinetic energy, the force is going to be quite low. Therefore, the pressure will be low as well. Because remember, pressure is just the kind of net force upon on the surface area of the inside of this container. Now, imagine this. We heat this up to 200 degrees Celsius. These particles are going to have much, much, much more kinetic energy now. So even though we're not... even though we've got the same volume and the same number of particles, the force that they're colliding with the inside of this container is much greater than this one here. Also, it will be more frequent as well because they're moving faster. So these 2 factors result in having high pressure. So, just to summarise, gas pressure is all about particles colliding with the inside of a container. If we have more particles in the same volume, we'll have a higher pressure. As we decrease the volume, we increase the pressure. And as we increase the temperature, we're giving the particles more kinetic energy, and therefore we are increasing the pressure as well. Thank you.